knows a lot about the science stuff. Professor Dave explains.
Going back to our chordate cladogram, we will notice another clade that unites all the remaining jawed vertebrates. These are all Osteichthyes, or bony fish, often contrasted with Chondrichthyes, the cartilaginous fish that we just finished discussing. Note that Osteichthyes is split between Actinopterygii, the ray-finned fishes, and Sarcopterygii, the lobe-finned fishes. Actinopterygii includes nearly all of the familiar fish species, like goldfish, mudskippers, eels, seahorses, frogfish, and many others. Sarcopterygii includes the coelacanths, the lungfish, and tetrapods. But we will get to those later. In this tutorial, let's get into the ray-finned fish of class Actinopterygii. Class Actinopterygii contains more than half of all vertebrate species. In terms of biodiversity, biomass, and sheer number, they are the most successful vertebrates on Earth. They include over 30,000 species, with an average of 100 to 500 new species being described annually, nearly 7 times more biomass than any other vertebrate group, and their total individual count is in the trillions. They are found in freshwater and marine environments, from the abyssal regions of the deep sea to the highest mountain streams. In order to examine the ray-finned fishes, let's discuss their external anatomy and summarize some body systems. So let's examine the external anatomy of a typical bony fish, and we can start by first reviewing the planes of symmetry, since this will help in understanding their anatomy. Most bony fish have elongated, streamlined bodies with overlapping scales. On this image, the sagittal plane separates the fish bilaterally, creating 2 mirror images. The transverse plane separates the cranial end, the end with the head, from the caudal end, the end with the tail. In most species of fish, the cranial region is also the anterior region, and the caudal region is also the posterior region. The frontal plane separates the dorsal end, the back, from the ventral end, the stomach. The eyes and nares, which lead to the olfactory organs, are separated by the sagittal plane, which divides the mouth. The bony operculum, or gill cover, protects the soft, fleshy gills. The lateral line runs the length of the body and allows bony fish to detect movement in the water. The dorsal fin helps with stabilization and is typically located on the midline of the fish's back and may be divided into 2 or more sections. The pectoral fins are located on each side of the fish's body and are used mainly for steering and braking, while the pelvic fins are located on the ventral part of the fish and aid in movement and maneuverability. The anal fin is located on the ventral surface of a fish, posterior to the anus, and helps to maintain stability and control during swimming by providing lift and aiding in maneuverability. Finally, the caudal fin, or tail fin, is one of the most important fins for movement, as it propels the fish forward through the water by moving from side to side. The shape and size of the caudal fin can vary between different species of bony fish, depending on their swimming abilities and behaviors. For example, the homocercal, or equal-lobed caudal fin, is symmetrical, has the same shape on the upper and lower lobes, and is most common in bony fish. The heterocercal caudal, or unequal-lobed fin, is asymmetrical and common in cartilaginous fish. The difficercal, or protocercal caudal fin is most common in lungfish. In addition, most bony fish are covered in scales. The 3 main types of scales are as follows. Cycloid scales are thin, flexible, round, and have a smooth surface. Ctenoid scales are similar to cycloid scales but have a comb-like edge. The vast majority of bony fish, including all of the teleosts, have either cycloid or ctenoid scales. The third scale type are ganoid scales, which are thick, heavy, and diamond-shaped, mainly found on sturgeons, gars, and bichurs. Placoid scales, while often mentioned alongside these other 3 types, are found only in cartilaginous fish. Remember that not all bony fish have scales. Some species, like the catfish, have evolved to possess a scaleless skin, and others, like the ocean sunfish, have greatly reduced scales that are barely visible. On top of their scales, bony fish have a slimy mucus covering their bodies, with a thickness and composition that varies by species and environmental factors. This helps reduce drag when swimming, protects against parasites, and maintains an osmotic balance. Moving on to body systems, like all vertebrates, bony fish have 11 body systems. We just went over the integumentary system, which includes the scales, skin, and mucus cells, so let's move on to the skeletal system, which provides support and protection for the internal organs. The internal skeleton of a bony fish consists of the skull, vertebral column, ribs, and a series of bony spines that extend into the fins and give this group its namesake. Unlike the lobe-finned fishes, which have fins that contain fleshy muscular tissue and bony elements, the fins of the ray-finned fishes are comprised of bony rays supported by thin webs of skin, which provide a high degree of maneuverability and efficient movement in an aquatic environment. Attached to the skeletal system is the muscular system, and the largest muscles used for swimming are the myomeres, which are arranged in W-shaped segments and provide the main propulsion for the fish. Essentially, they are a series of muscle blocks found along the sides of a fish body and can vary in number by species. Though the myomeres are the largest muscles in the ray-finned fish, they also have smaller, specialized muscles associated with each fin, sensory organ, and many internal organs. Controlling the muscular system is the nervous system, which is primarily comprised of the brain, spinal cord, and sensory organs such as the eyes, olfactory bulbs, inner ear, and lateral line system. Most bony fish have well-developed eyes, allowing them to see colors and polarized light. They are also able to detect movement and vibrations in the water using the lateral line system, which consists of a series of fluid-filled canals that are often visible to the naked eye. These canals are lined with sensory cells called neuromasts that detect changes in water pressure and movement, allowing fish to navigate in their environment, detect prey, and avoid predators. In addition, though the ray-finned fish lack external ears, they do have a complex labyrinthine inner ear system allowing them to hear, mechanoreceptors on the skin and fins providing a sense of touch, and taste receptors in the mouth and pharynx. The digestive system of the ray-finned fish is similar to that of most vertebrates, in that food enters through the mouth and passes through the pharynx, followed by the esophagus, which transports food into the acidic stomach where digestion begins, though some species, like the zebrafish, actually entirely lack stomachs. From there, food enters the pyloric cecum, where additional enzymes are secreted for further digestion and nutrient absorption, and then passes into the intestine, which is often quite long in herbivorous species and short in carnivorous species, before passing out the anus. In terms of feeding, most ray-finned fish are carnivores that prey on a wide range of organisms, from microscopic crustaceans and insect larvae to large vertebrates. In fact, some deep-sea species are famous for being able to eat vertebrates nearly twice their size. Unlike many tetrapods, most ray-finned fish are incapable of chewing their food, though some, like the wolf eels, have molar-like teeth for crushing prey. As such, most carnivorous species swallow their prey whole by use of negative pressure. When the mouth is suddenly opened, water rushes in, and the prey is captured and transported into the esophagus, while water simply passes out through the gills. It's worth noting that not all ray-finned fish are carnivores. There are many important herbivores that eat plants and microalgae and play an important ecological role in and around coral reefs, like parrotfish, surgeonfish, and damselfish. Others, like the candiru, are parasitic, while still others, like the suckers and minnows, are detritivores. Others are suspension feeders that catch suspended microorganisms on their gill rakers, which are bony, finger-like projections that line the inner surfaces of the gill arches and pass edible bits into their esophagus. Gill rakers vary in size and shape among different species and are typically longer and more numerous in filter-feeding fish such as carp and herrings. Like all vertebrates, the bony fish endocrine system controls growth, development, reproduction, and helps to maintain homeostasis. In addition, their immune system consists of both innate components, such as physical barriers and some immune cells, and adaptive components, such as cells capable of producing specific antibodies, and immune cells that recognize and target specific pathogens. The bony fish circulatory system is often comprised of a two-chambered heart with one atrium and one ventricle. The atrium receives deoxygenated blood from the body, and the ventricle pumps the blood to the gills where it becomes oxygenated. From there, the oxygenated blood is distributed throughout the body. The blood flow is unidirectional, meaning that blood flows in one direction through the heart and through the vessels. However, there are some exceptions among ray-finned fish, such as the tuna, which have a more advanced four-chambered heart similar to that of mammals. Closely connected to the circulatory system is the respiratory system, which is responsible for obtaining oxygen and expelling carbon dioxide. But since this system can be considered quite complex, let's save that for the next tutorial.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more tutorials. Support me on Patreon so I can keep making content. And as always, feel free to email me, ProfessorDaveExplains@gmail.com.